If you want to double, triple, quadruple your income over the next 3 years, don't think you can keep doing what you've been doing and it's going to work. Because you know what? It hasn't. And that's the truth. Hi, this is Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to the Magellan Network Show. My goal inside of this communication, this show, is to share with you my nearly 30 years of coaching some of the most successful financial advisors in North America. We're going to be talking about strategies, syntaxes. We're going to be bringing guests on from time to time, and I'm going to share with you what's working now. So think of this show as sort of like a little one-on-one kind of mini coaching cast, if you like, where we're going to be going in depth from time to time on strategies to help you grow your business, get more effective, become more efficient, find balance in your time management, grow your business, and quite frankly, whatever else is going on in the world today. So before we get to today's episode, I'd love for you to do a couple things for me. Number one, make sure that if you're watching this on YouTube, that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're doing the audio, make sure that you give us a review on whether it's Spotify or Apple. We'd really appreciate that. And quite frankly, that does help. It does matter when you rate things and like things and subscribe to things. It helps us get the word out to more of the industry. And lastly, I have a very special gift for you. Go to MagellanNetwork.net, so one word, MagellanNetwork.net, and I have for you a complimentary membership, 100% gratis, where you can tap into about between 50 and 75 hours of masterclasses, forms, tools, templates, and strategies. So please go ahead and make sure you go ahead and get that claimed. Smash the like button and subscribe. And please go ahead and leave us a review on whatever podcasting platform you're on. And now, let's get to this week's episode. Hi, it's your Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. This is going to be part one of a two-parter, if you will. And what I'm going to discuss with you guys is how to transform yourself. Now, why does that matter, right? Shouldn't we be talking about referrals and getting more clients and AUM and premium and all that stuff? Here's the reality. Your current bank account is directly tied to who you are, and your future bank account is tied to who you need to become. Your practice right now is a reflection of the man or woman in the mirror. And this is what a lot of advisors don't get. I hear it all the time. Joe, I've got a marketing problem. I can't get my team to work. My employees suck. All those things. I'm going, well, wait a second. Who's in charge of marketing? Who leads the team? Who hired the team? It's you, my friend. And here's the problem and also the opportunity. One of the things that it took me decades, literally decades of my own career to figure out is how do you continue to scale? How do you continue to grow your business? And in advisor land, as it is in coaching land, guess what? It's not about evolving the business first. It's about you evolving first, and then the business follows. And this is a cardinal rule, immutable law that most advisors don't understand. You want to treat your business as this other thing. And I don't care if you're a solopreneur or you're running a 70 advisor, $60 million revenue enterprise. It's the man or woman in the mirror who leads. So if we take that premise and extrapolate it, so what does that mean? So what it means is that if you want to increase your economic results, i.e. make more money, then the current version of you will not get it done. Because here's the way it works, my friends. And this is the thing. By the way, I suffered from this. I caught, literally a couple of years ago, I came upon this in a live. We were doing our Magellan Vision Conference, which is our 3-day business planning conference. And I just was in front of the room doing my thing, right? We do it over 3 days. And I made a comment that here's what people do when they set goals. And I was definitely guilty of it. So let's just say you're doing $500,000 of revenue in your business, and you have a 3-year goal of getting to $1 million of revenue. Here's what we all do. We take that future goal, a 3-year goal, let's say it's 3 years. We take that 3-year goal and vision and we extrapolate it into the current version of us. And we go, oh my God, how am I going to do that? That's going to be a lot of work. I'm going to have to hire people. I don't want to manage people. And then we have all this threat assessment happening because of our caveman brain trying to protect us, right? And then we literally talk ourselves out of it before we even start. Or even if we do start, it's so incongruent in our minds that we can't stay consistent in taking the action to move towards that. Make sense? And maybe some of you are very sorry, like, oh man, that just explained my entire career. Well, I'm going to help you break through that in this episode and in next week's episode. So number one is you've got to understand and accept what the real challenge opportunity is, which is not your business, it's you. Okay? And here's the way it works for me. Here's how I teach it. I like to operate, and this is like breathtakingly powerful once I adopted this, is I use the term versions, okay? So for my first 25 years in the game, I'm in and out 31. So for my first 25 years in the game, I call myself Coach Joe 1.0. And for 2.5 decades, it stayed kind of the same. And then my 25th anniversary showed up, and I was like, and I could have rolled it out for another 20. Look, I was successful, making money. Everything was good. It wasn't great. It was good. But I was bored. And then I said, you know what? The current version of me can't get it done. And I had to create a whole new version. And I'll explain how to do that in a minute. Or start the conversation with you anyway. So I said, you know, I need 2.0. I need a 2.0. And I started thinking like software, right? Like Windows 8, Windows 9, Windows 11, you know. Obviously, Mac does. They use these old tree names and stuff like that, which is fine. But they're different versions. I said, well, that works for them. Yeah, let's do that. So I came up, and I'm walking through the exact steps how I did it. But I came up with Coach Joe 2.0, and that version lasted for 5 years. So from my 25th year to my 30th year, 2.0. Last year, 30th year came, did a little victory lap. Got a little bored again. So it's time. And I said, okay, I'm feeling uneasy. It's time to evolve again. So now I am probably 2/3 or maybe more on the way of building 3.0 version of me out. Because for my impossible goal, the current version of me won't get that done. And I know it. I know it now from experience. Okay? So if you're in that scenario where you're $500,000 advisor and you want to be $1 million advisor, here's what we know to be true. You right now are the $500,000 version of it. What you need to figure out is what's the $1 million version look like in advance and then move towards that. Okay? And by the way, if you're $1 million person, you want to be 2. If you're 2, want to be 4. If you're 4, want to be 8. If you're 8, want to be 25. Same thing. What is that? How does that person need to operate? And so here's what you do. Number one, you define the vision for the next version of yourself. Step one. I'm going to give you some steps now. You start asking. This is the all important question. What does the next version of me look like? And you have to be specific. Skills, habits, achievements, how you operate, right? Like how's your health? How's your psychology? Like everything. I want you to think of it like you're writing a screenplay for a movie and you've got to create this character. And what are the characteristics of that character? That's what you need to do. Okay? And if that means, well, that character is fearless and they have high energy and they are super proactive and they lean into things that are uncomfortable, they're a little bit of Ed Milet and David Goggins, like that. That's fine. Write it all down and then realize that's who you need to become to do it. I asked my wife this the other day. We're sitting having just chatting. And I said, who are your role models? Like, who do you look to emulate? And because I was thinking about that on one of my walk and talk, I said, like, who do I model? And I said, well, let me think. I like Ben Hardy. I looked at then Darren Hardy. Then I went and said Ed Milet, and obviously Tony Robbins. That's kind of in my DNA. Growing up, And I started like look at all these role models, and I take pieces of every one of them, Dan Martell, right? All those, and I kind of take what I like best, and I create this version, like this character. I borrow, right? Emulate, R&D, rip off and deploy, and you get to clear. Because once you get clear, once you have clarity on who you need to become, and like it's detailed, that becomes your North Star. That becomes your shiny point of light in the sky for direction. Okay, number one. Number two, this is the hard one. This is the one where you have to tell yourself the absolute truth, no matter what. This is what I call the moment in the mirror. And literally, I've had people, and that's what I do. I have people go to the mirror, and and some of you have been in our programs, you know that we get your phone out and record yourself, like the virtual mirror. You got to evaluate where you are today. And you have to be truthful about your gaps. Where are you in your gaps in the habit, the mindset, energy levels, health, psychology? And you've got to be brutally honest. Do not sugarcoat it. This is not, you're not going to, you don't, I mean, hopefully not. I guess you could. You're not going to share this with your Instagram friends and your social media buds. No, this is for you. But tell the truth. It's all about understanding and telling yourself the truth of what's really holding you back and what needs to change. Hi, Coach Joe Lukacs here, and I'm just breaking here for a moment just to do a couple quick reminders. Number one, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel or our podcast. In addition, please leave a comment or a review. Those things really, really matter. And share this episode with 3 of your colleagues inside the financial services space. And lastly, make sure that you go ahead and claim your free membership inside of Magellan Network. Now back to this week's episode. Next, goals with a deadline, specific, clarity. So Ed Milet talks about this. If the goal is not clear and specific, the mind can't solve for it. All right? So we don't use the word more, and we don't use the word better. I want to make more money. I want to be better. No, specifically. You break it down, specific, measurable, things that are actionable and relevant. Okay? Details matter. So if you need to be a better communicator, okay, what specifically do you need to take action on to become a better communicator? I need to join Toastmasters. Like whatever it is, right? So it's not that you need to be a better communicator. You need to go and join Toastmasters, right? Or take a public speaking course or NLP course, right? Like, in other words, you've got to go ahead and be very specific on the action items that you need to go do, right? It's critically important. So when you come up and say, okay, I want to go ahead and these are the characteristics I need, well, I need to get healthier. Well, what does that mean, right? Like I need to say, look, I cannot weigh more than X. I need to have a body fat of Y. Then how are you going to pull it off? Well, if you've been trying to go alone, it's why you need to talk about building a team, which will be a little bit down the road here in a moment. Like, you got to get very specific. So don't get into the more, I want to make more money. It's irrelevant. How much? Specifically. By when? Specifically. Okay? Number 4, greatness happens because you own the morning. Whether it's the 5 a.m. club, right? Which is Robin Sharma's thing, or whatever iteration you want, morning ritual. Non-negotiable. You need to prime yourself. You can use AI, Google, I don't care. Hey, I need to create a morning ritual. Please give me options on how Ed Milet, Tony Robbins, Brendan Bouchard, Ben Hardy, blah, 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 right? How do they do their mornings? And just R&D it. Now, if you're following me, you know that inside Magellan Network, we have what we call MPH, Magellan Power Hour. So if you're an advisor, and who kind of watches this or listens, then you know we have a sequence built of what needs to be done every morning, right? And those become non-negotiables, right? We talk about visualization. We talk about journaling. We talk about a little exercise, right? We talk about reviewing our goals. I mean, how many times have you wrote a business plan or goals and then you kind of forget about it? Like, no. We rep it every day. We live it. Like, if you're going to create your masterpiece, you got to live it every day. It's a non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. So without the morning, that somebody says like you're going to transform, like what's the most important thing other than figuring out what you need to do is the morning piece because that's where it happens every day. Period. That's number 4. Now, number 5, investing in yourself. This is it's not even controversial. It's just a lot of you guys just don't do it because you're cheap. I say this respectfully. You're cheap. You would rather drive the Mercedes and appear to be super successful versus actually feeling super successful and being actually successful. So I have a rule, and I'm going to explain the rule, and I'm going to give you my rule, right? And again, whether it's reading books, podcasts, blog, mastermind groups, workshops, seminars, coaching, it all kind of works, right? The bottom line is this. I have a 10% rule. And you can apply, there's a lot of ways to apply, right? Gross, net, it's totally how you want to play. But here's the rule. Take 10% of revenue, net or gross, and you break it up into 2 buckets, 5-5. So 5% goes purely to business coaching for being a rock star advisor, 5%. So if you're doing $100,000 a year of rev, $5,000. Making you a better advisor, making you a better business owner, making you a better entrepreneur. That's what we do. That's what I do. The other 5,000 on a 100,000 is to make you better personally. So that's where you go get the personal trainer, the nutritionist, maybe the concierge doctor, the chiropractor, the masseuse, like get your body right. Therapy, if that's appropriate, all that goes there, 10%. Here's why this matters. Now I'm using a $100,000, and I'll use net for lack of a better term. So $100,000 income, $10,000. Somebody says, "Oh man, Joe, that's a lot of money." Hey, you're the product. We're R&D, man. We're reinvesting back into your development so you can make more money. So you go from $100,000 to $250,000 to $500,000. So think about $500,000 for a second, okay? $500K. Well, now what's that? Well, that's $50K, right? That's $25K and $25K. So keep it math simple, $2,000 a month, each side. You got a really good coach, personal coach for $2K. Really, really good. Join a mastermind program, like learn, develop. $2K, you get a rock star personal trainer. You can probably get a really good concierge doc, nutritionist, rock your stuff out. Reinvestment. I mean, LeBron James, let's Google, Google this. How much money does LeBron James invest in his body every year? It's like 4 or 5 million. That's a lot of money. More than most people make, by far. Why? His body is where he makes his money as an athlete. Bottom line. Now, take that to $1 million of income. Now you got 100,000, 50-50. You can join. You can hire a top coach in the industry personally. You can join the best masterminds in the industry usually, and you got 50K to rock out your world. And then you go to 2 million, and you see where it goes. I mean, right now my budget's 6 figures. I can hire any coach I almost want, really. I could join the best master. I can go to any set. If somebody's doing a 2-day mastermind, it's $25,000. Yeah, I can do it. It's in the budget. Let's go. That's how powerful it is. But here's it. If you want to double, triple, quadruple your income over the next 3 years, don't think you can keep doing what you've been doing and it's going to work. Because you know what? It hasn't. And that's the truth. You must invest in personal development, So, because some people, this is the argument sometimes I get. Well, Joe, I want to go and do this marketing program, because I want to build my business. I said, you've been trying to build your business like that for 5 years, and you've been moving the needle at 3 to 5% a year because you're hot, and this is the way I talk sometimes, and because you haven't figured you out yet. You haven't given yourself permission to be great. You have not figured out the next version of you. And so you think, and this is what I thought, and this was my epiphany, after my 25th anniversary, I said, oh man, I want to double my business. So what do you think about? Oh, I want to double? That's a marketing problem. I got to get better marketing. I get my social media. I get my LinkedIn game right. So what do? I seek out some of the best digital marketers that I know, guys and gals who are running organizations. I go, and one of them was holding a marketing thing. So I flew out to California, spent 3 days, and probably 20, 25 grand on it. And I got out of that? That I didn't have a marketing problem. That I had a me problem. You know how hard that was to hear after rocking out 25 years and you got some dude telling you, hey man, now I heard your story, guess what? You don't got a market issue, brother. You got a you problem. You got a you problem. Like, what do you think you're worth? And that was just a smack. And that's where my epiphany started. And I'll always remember that time in Huntington Beach, California, on the beach. It's like a seminal moment in my life. But that's where, on that beach that day, I declared a new version for myself. And fast forward 5 years later, tripled the business. Tripled. 300. Not double, tripled. Because I became a different person, different professional. I use these 5 things to transform. Now, next episode, I'm going to give you the other 5 and a little bit more context around it. So here's what I need you to do. 1, this video or audio made sense. I'd like you to like it. Make sure you're subscribed to everything. 2, share this with a colleague in the game. Somebody who may be struggling, stuck, whatever. Share the good stuff. Lastly, take a test drive in the program that I run, Magellan Network, Magellan Coaching Program. 30 days, no credit card, just an application and an interview by a member of my team, and we'll get you in. We have an 85% success rate. 85%. 85% of those that join us grow their business, and 25% grow by 25 to 30%. No other coaching program can make that comment, to make those statements. Document it. So I hope you come join us and check us out. Until next week, this is Coach Joe Lucas thanking you for taking the time to visit with me. See you in 7 days. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to come to MagellanNetwork.net, and we have a powerful group coaching community of like-minded advisors. Come in for a trial. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation. Let's see if I can help elevate your game both personally and professionally.